They're going to engage and sprout on Ake, but Funnick going to be blown up. The Illuminate seals the deal. Kuro doing what damage he can. Might be able to right-click Ake. Nope. One charges. Pretty good. No! Double KO for the supports. They end up trading a couple more away apiece. The dust settles, though, make it 5-2. That tier 2 still standing for Na'Vi.
That song by EGM actually totally backfired for them.
Did.
They used the song to try to stop the Wisp TP from getting a counter kill, but that song actually saved Dendi's life. So they weren't able to take him down. All in all, the two pushing bottom actually end up going down. Roshan spawning right now, so I think that Alliance might have a little easier of a time getting in position, but again, we still haven't seen a Ravage, if I'm not mistaken.
Nope.
Yeah, 25-minute game, not a single Ravage was used that day. But yeah, Alliance, they're going to be going for Roshan here. They do have a bear. Actually, this is only one bear Roshan, so if they want to react to this Roshan, they're going to have to start making their way there now. Havos does not have a lot of HP right now. He really needs that Wisp to be there just to be able to use an Urn on him. But yeah, they can't fight with Havos this low health unless Puppey has a heal.
Gonna go ahead and use Nature's Attendants, taking their sweet time. Roshan down to about half health. They are going to be able to engage this if they really want to, throwing out the Sprout, and that's enough. Showing the flag and forcing Alliance to back out, knowing that Na'Vi ready to come in force. And as you said, Dendi has not used a single Ravage. Now Na'Vi might take a run at the big boy. Here we go. They move in. Alliance is on the high ground. Illuminate does a smidgen of damage. You see Roshan spell shield popped. Funnick off by himself, trying to watch for the end around. Roche just south of half health. Let's see how and when Alliance wants to go for this. Na'Vi is committed. Havost is way far back, as is Dendi. They are in there until Roche drops or until Alliance comes in. Here we go. There's the acid spray. Loda's going to go for it. S4 is there. Tether stun. BKBs are up. There's finally a Ravage. Got S4. Rest of the fight engaged outside. There's an Illuminate that connects and a Riptide as well. Dendi trapped inside. Havost will drop. Lone Druid able to get him, and Dendi now being beautiful. Blinding light knocked it back, but here's the Eclipse. The Eclipse doing good damage. Loda has to make a run for it. No, sir. Killed off as he tried to make it uphill. Roshan still standing, as is Puppey, as is Havost. Took a buyback or two, but Na'Vi take what could be the most important battle of the game so far. No, Song of the Siren. Here comes the bear. Can they do it? Nope. Thinking better of it. They're going to try to force it out. Havost is in trouble. Illuminates there. Havost is gone. Puppey is gone. Roche is gone. Loda, with the help of EGM, Admiral Bulldog, and Ake, caught Na'Vi laying greedy, their hand in the cookie jar, and steal themselves an Aegis.
What a turnaround from Alliance. I thought after the double buyback for Na'Vi that they would at least be able to secure Roshan, but the song from EGM, much better this time. They managed to get the concoction inside of the pit and basically just instantly kill the Luna, and that's one of the weaknesses of the hero. She just is not that durable without her BKB up, and you can focus her fairly easily. But the important thing to note here, Loda now level 16. His levels have gotten completely out of control right now. They get the tier 2. Alliance, they overcome all these disadvantages, having all your outer tier towers taken away. They've almost equalized it. They even look like they want to try to crack the base. There's no glyph right now on Na'Vi, and Ravage isn't up for another 45 seconds.
This is, of course, the reason Tidehunter is so rarely seen now. Such a slave to his cooldown, and Dendi's out there a bit. Can they grab him? It's there on the Puppey. They're going to engage off of a Kuro, and Puppey are in trouble. One's down. Can you say two? I can. Havos trying to re-engage. Dendi, 30 seconds from Ravage. Loda with the BKB up. Doesn't want to turn and fight. Looks like his supporting cast has to pull back. Funnick tried to re-engage, will be ensnared down. They're going to try to finish him off, and they will. S4, very close to death. Carapace through that last impetus, and Dendi chasing him down. Loda's there off the Aegis pop. Havos with his BKB activated. Beautiful ensnare from EGM coming down from the high ground. Locking him down. Funnick is bought back. Dendi, 1 second until Ravage. Will he spend it? Can he spend it? He will hang on to it. Bulldog cleans up the kill. Funnick's back up, trying to chase down S4. Another beautiful ensnare in the mech. Kept S4 alive as he turns and extends the killing spree. 13-7, and a game that was led for so long by Na'Vi has completely turned on its head. You've got 3 down, no buybacks. There's not going to be a tier 3 standing by the time all's said and done, and the Rack's going to be next on the list.
Well, Ravage is up for when Dendi gets up, but this is definitely going to be a Rax. Like, there's nothing that Na'Vi are going to be able to do to stop this. Puppey's sitting here. He doesn't have any creeps right now. And Alliance just coming back from the most ridiculous positions, able to just stay cool, calm, and they just effectively farm, even on maps where most teams would be scared to. They managed to make another tremendous comeback. And at any stage in the game, you would imagine that a team with no outer tier towers would feel obviously scared to be able to do anything on the map. They could test the Roshan, even against a Tidehunter with a mech, even against a level 2 Eclipse. With a double buyback, they still take the fight and manage to go in for that Rax. Just unbelievable performance coming out of Alliance here in Game 2.
What I think it comes down to is what we knew it would. Whenever you see a Tidehunter pickup, that's very much a hero who, once the BKBs begin to come out, he just loses his efficacy. He loses his impact in a big way. And even with just one hero really being one that would want a BKB, the fact that it is this hero with this supporting cast, we saw EGM's ensnare from the high ground so important in locking down Avos as he tried to retreat. If he's able to retreat, go back to the well and heal up, maybe that tier 3 is still standing. If not the tier 3, maybe the Rax. But there are just so many tools on the side of Alliance that they all know how to use perfectly. We're seeing Funnick come in. He's going to Shadow Blade, and Loda sniffs it out. Smells the rat. They fall back. Now they might want to re-engage. Loda comes back out. There's S4. He blinked ahead. Misses with the impale. Now Dendi trying to get in for a Ravage. Will spend it. Got two, but the BKB was up on Loda beforehand. S4 right behind him. They get the courier for free. And oh wow, he missed with the Sprout as well. Here we go. S4, beautiful impale. Got two. Now the Eclipse as Avos wants to re-engage. S4 makes it to the low ground. EGM living because of the mech. Dendi trying to make it away. Puppey standing in the fight, but as these fights get drawn out, it's going to go the way of Alliance. The burn damage on Admiral Bulldog alone, more than Na'Vi can handle. EGM may be in some trouble. Avos cleaned up. Bulldog on a mega kill streak. There's Song of the Siren. And Dendi, the man left behind, going to end up being sent back to the well the hard way. Going back in a body bag as that's a double kill for Admiral Bulldog's Lone Druid. Na'Vi feeds 4. 17-8 in a 32-minute game, and I do believe it's safe to say the worm has turned. Na'Vi, as you said, cleared off every single tower from the map within the first 15 minutes, every single outer tier tower. Looked to be in control, but Alliance turning it completely around, and really it's hard to imagine what's going to slow down this train now.
You know, it's a bit ironic after watching the way this game turned out, like Na'Vi basically losing the game because of the way Roshan went. If they had gotten that, Roshan could have been completely different. They might have had enough momentum to push into the middle racks of Alliance. And when you're a Rax down against a Prophet team and a Wisp, it becomes significantly harder. But they lost the Roshan fight, so now looks like the base is going to get taken down again. Top lane fully exposed, no Glyph, no Ravage up on Dendi for another 50 seconds, and Alliance seemingly might actually be taking this 2-0.
Havosh is going to be chopped to pieces, can't even get away. Loda large and in charge, and with these kills, there it is. GG! In a match that was as highly anticipated as any in the history of Dota 2, Alliance puts together a 2-0 blanking of Na'Vi and punches their ticket to the grand finals. GG, well played indeed.
Great performance out of Alliance. Even with very little map control, they managed to find farm. They managed to get the core items that they needed on every hero, win that really clutch Roshan fight, even after Na'Vi had the double buyback, had the Wisp teleport back in with the Eclipse, and managed to turn the game around completely after, well, more or less one fight. So spectacular performance out of them, and congratulations, well deserved.
Absolutely, and really, I mean, 33 minutes, 7 seconds, the official game time, 9-20, the final kill score. We saw it, Draskell. These two teams out to play hard, but really Alliance, and this is what has characterized their entire run through the International, holding things together, keeping things calm, not allowing setbacks. Well, I mean, can you even call it a setback when you lose 6 towers in 14 minutes? Nonetheless, Alliance punches their ticket to the grand finals, guaranteed $600,000 in cash that they've now earned themselves. Na'Vi, not out yet. They drop to the lower bracket. We'll see if they can fight their way back up from the bottom. I may see that Straskell throwing it back out to the analyst desk so they can break it down.
Thank you, AC and Draskell. Yeah, Alliance and Na'Vi, we won't be seeing any more of them today. They will wait to play until tomorrow, but Alliance are guaranteed a top 2 finish. I didn't think they'd win 2-0. I thought they might have been the favorites going into this.
I thought so.
But
Me too.
come on. How many towers in 14 minutes? 6, and they have a Nature's Prophet. I was kind of surprised that the Nature's Prophet didn't end up finishing a sheepstick or finding more farm, to be honest, because they really needed that.
I was talking to Toby backstage, and I was telling him how Na'Vi should have this game, and I expected them to breed spades at the 16-minute mark. They went uphill at 16:40, and I thought they should have just continued pushing in, because I really felt that Na'Vi had the better lineup. This was sort of an old-school lineup we saw a lot of in 2012, and it requires a lot of balls to enter the base with, and Na'Vi sort of seem to lack that. And if there's any team I'd be surprised by not having the cojones to go into the base, it'd be Na'Vi, and I don't know why they didn't. I think they were too frightened by the Keeper of the Light.
All right, well, yeah, certainly sometimes just the magnitude of the match at hand can change how you think and play. But a team that seemed to handle the pressure will, of course, Alliance, and that's where we're going now with a post-game interview with S4.
Thank you very much, James. Yeah, S4 is here. And first off, congratulations. Quite a bit of a comeback there in that last game. How did you do it?
We knew what they were going to do. They were going to take all our towers and just 5-man. And we responded correctly. We didn't take the early fights because we knew they were stronger. And we just farmed up our core items, and that's how we won the game.
I'm really interested in the strategy behind drafting, especially when you're going up against a team like Na'Vi. They had 2 heroes in this particular match we haven't seen in the entire tournament so far. What was your strategy when it came to picking the heroes for this particular matchup?
Okay, so our plan going into this match was leaving Wisp against Na'Vi, because we're pretty confident we can play against Wisp, and I don't think many teams can say that. So yeah, playing as Wisp was our plan into this.
How are you feeling? A little bit relieved?
Yeah, of course.
All right, congratulations. We will see you in the grand finals. That is fantastic.
Thank you.
James, back to you guys.
Thank you, Casey. Yeah, relieved I'm sure they are. And from the draft as well, they really did leave it open to Na'Vi to pick some really interesting lineups. So I felt they looked very confident just in the drafting phase. Did they play as confident as they drafted Alliance?
I think every game we see them play, it's just confidence and trust in their teamwork and their team play. And even if they fall behind early on, they just execute their objectives every single time. It's just like watching a machine just trample over all the other teams. It's poetry in motion.
Now,
Yeah.
oh, sorry, Ben.
I'm just really surprised that Na'Vi went with Wisp the second game. I think that Alliance proved that they can handle the Wisp, and Wisp doesn't work the best in their push strategies. Alliance kind of like baited them into pushing. I guess they just avoided team fights, played with Coddle as long as possible, and just waited for the perfect opportunity, which was the Roshan fight around the 27 and 28 minute 27 and 28 minute mark.
Yeah, we can take a look at it here, Ben,
Yeah.
if you want to take us through.
So here's the Song of Siren, and there's an Illuminate being charged up by Aki right now, and it's going to hit Havost, and they're so close to taking out Roshan right now. It wipes up the 2 Na'Vi heroes, and this is a straw that broke the camel's back. And Na'Vi has such an advantage at this point, and it was just sad to see that 6 tower early. It was like 15 minutes. They got all the T1s and the T2s, but unable to break that T3. But they need to draft better, I think, to push up the T3. They had a very, very good early game fighting lineup, but Alliance was like, hey, we're not going to fight. They didn't have 0 kills. They had 0 kills for like 15 minutes. And if they want to take a fight at the T3, then Alliance has the advantage because they can fight at the choke. They have to combo for the outstun and the myriad of other spells that they had.
Yeah, and Bruno, I want to ask, something that was very kind of prominent in the games and just the draft itself was the Naga Siren again. It was picked both games. It seems to be a similar story to the last international.
Yes.
But it was played mainly as a carry role.
Yes.
This time it's played as support. It's great for kind of just not stopping the fun, as sometimes Toby says, but just controlling the fights. But also over by Roshan, it seems to be a really big deal. I'm sure the Alliance have picked Naga Siren the most, but what can you tell us about the performance of this hero over the tournament?
Well, right now I'm looking at the main event performance. It's been picked 12 times, so a lot. The performance in general is not that great. It's 5 and 7, so has a negative record, but figure what? 5 of those wins, 4 of them were Alliance, and EGM playing that dominantly well.
So an 80% win ratio with this hero. On Alliance.
No, on Alliance, 100%.
Oh, so they've won every game with Nagasaki.
Yeah, the 7 losses did not come from Alliance. They came from. They're 5-7 in general for an Owen Alliance.
Yeah, well, they've only still dropped one map, I believe, over the whole tournament. So they made it to the grand finals, and they'll be playing tomorrow in a best of 5. So our next match is going to be the lower bracket game between the winners from the lower bracket today, which was Orange, and I'm going to remember, and Tong Fu. Any thoughts on this match?
I'm very excited about this match. Orange is the most diverse team in the competition right now. They've been picking the most diverse lineups with a lot of different stuff. Mushi has only been playing the same hero twice so far. And then we have Tong Fu, who's one of the most aggressive teams to come out of China, in my opinion at least. And they too pick a lot of oddball heroes such as Doombringer, Pandaren Brewmaster, stuff like this. We haven't really seen the Panda yet. I don't know if it fell out of favor for them, but I'm hoping to see it still.
I like how both of the teams are very adaptive. They each lost one game yesterday in the first best of 3, but they came back with pretty convincing 2-0 victories versus Orange over DK and Tong Fu versus IG. So they seem to be able to read their opponent's strategies, predict how they're going to play, and react accordingly. And that is one of the most important things to be able to take a win down in this tournament. But Orange, they have been surprising me with their lineups too.
Yeah, we'll see how that match goes. I think both of them are playing really well today, and actually there's even been threads on some of the most, people have said the most entertaining game so far, and it's been Orange in that matchup, so they are a crowd pleaser. And speaking of crowds, we can go to Casey, who is talking to the attendees of the International.
Yeah, we can find. There, my microphone's working now. Hey, how's it going? What'd you think of what you just saw in there?
It was okay. I was rooting for Na'Vi. We've got some Alliance fans here. We've got some Na'Vi fans here. So I'm hoping that they come back. They make it through the loser bracket to fight against Alliance again. But I still like Alliance. So I mean, it was good either way.
Is that your dream matchup too for the grand final?
Yeah, Na'Vi for life.
For life. I like that. All right, who else? Let's keep walking. Hey, there you go. Let's see what you got here.
Oh, I was rooting for Team Liquid. Unfortunately, I didn't.
Sorry, I know.
Yeah, they lost out last night. But hey, I'm still rooting for Alliance. They did good. I'm really hoping that Loda can carry them through the grand finals tomorrow.
Absolutely. We still have some Na'Vi. No, come here. What was that?
We have tomorrow, and we'll be fine tomorrow.
Okay. Well, who do you have? Who's on your shirt? Who signed it?
I got Havos, Kurokai, and Puppy to do it. I couldn't find Dendi, so
we'll try to find him for you.
I'll get that tomorrow.
All right. Dry those tears. It'll get better.
We'll be fine. Let's enjoy the next game, and we'll see Alliance tomorrow in the grand final.
Oh, there you go. Them's fighting words, James.
Thank you, Casey. There you go. Casey getting the QQ out of the audience there. All the feels. But yeah, that's really the storyline for anybody who's a fan of those two teams. Everyone's walking through the lobby right now, and it's like some people are upset. Na'Vi obviously didn't win or take a game, but I think Alliance, they're picking up fans by the hour, by the game. They've really shown us exciting plays and also just really crisp kind of decision making in terms of, like you said, they didn't want to fight. What was the scoreline? Sure, it's boring in terms of like you don't get to see flashy colors, which always entertains me, which is why I liked hanging out with Bruno. But it's impressive. It's impressive to keep the scoreline down like that.
It's also impressive because they change style from game to game depending on what they need to do to win. The win is all that matters. We saw them in the first game. They pushed early on. They dominated. They wanted to make fights happen and kill people. Second game, they felt like they needed to fall back, which they did, and they did so, and they did it perfectly. It's beautiful.
All right. Well, we'll talk about Alliance and Na'Vi a little bit later. For now, we need to go to our lower bracket game. So let's introduce the first team up. It's Orange.
And Extinct with Orange joins us now ahead of the match against Tong Fu. Tell me what your thoughts are as you head into the top 4.
Feeling super happy. Yeah, I never been through like win so like, in a huge prize pool money. Yeah, so I'm feeling really excited.
How do you, obviously you're thinking about that, how do you set that aside and focus and get rid of the nerves heading into this game?
We just play. I just play like usual. Like I'm not thinking about the prize money. It's not about the prize. Yeah, it's like I want to get a name in this, like a high place in this tournament, because it's like the worldwide, it's a world-class tournament. Yeah, so I want to get a higher place.
Yeah, because it means a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Good luck, Extinct. Thank you very much for talking to us.
Lee Kong Yang, KYXY, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
Chai Yifeng, Moshi, Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur.
Lim Wai Ben, Net, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
Khoo Tong Sing, Ohio, Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur.
Joel Chanjanel, Extinct, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
Orange had an interesting run through the whole tournament. Even in the prelims, they were the final team from their group to qualify in the upper bracket. And they're in the lower bracket now, but they've been entertaining every single game. Ohio, Mushi, KYXY, Net, and Extinct, who we just spoke to in the interview, that was pretty much saying, yes, we need to ignore the prize money going into this game. And I also think he wanted to kind of say, not necessarily just want to finish top, they want to make a name for themselves. They want to stand out as a team and maybe individuals, but they really just want to impress. And so far, they've been impressing me. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, what really impresses me about them is that they're willing to pick Ursa or something strange as an Ursa in elimination match. One more loss they would have gotten out in the last best of 3, and it takes huge cojones, as you were saying, to do something like that. And in the last matchup,
it takes big oranges.
Huge oranges. Tongfu actually 2-0'd Orange, or Tongfu 2-0'd Orange in the preliminary stage. I didn't have a chance to catch those games. Do you have any comments on their recent performances?
Orange or Tongfu's?
Either. Or their matchup together.
Again, like Bruno showed yesterday, Orange just keeps on picking new lineups, new heroes. The only hero we've been seeing as an ongoing thing for Orange has been Extinct on either Chen or Visage.
Yeah.
And maybe Mushi on Shadow Fiend. Has played it 3 times now.
Times, yes.
Yeah. So, and Net on the Bane Elemental, maybe.
Yeah, and there's Ohio on the Nature's Prophet.
Ah, okay.
But I mean, they do have their core heroes. But I'm going to say here, they do not pick all 4 of them or 5 of them every single time. Maybe one get the signature hero, the other 3 rotate. And that's why we see so many crazy lineups from them.
All right. How's your Mystic Ball going, Bruno? Does it work still?
It is still working, but we're going to use it later because I'm very enjoying looking at myself there and seeing upside down. It's really
Stop
nice.
enjoying the preview monitor so well. Oh my God, Bruno.
So what do you think about Shadow Fiend? We've seen Mushi play it quite a lot.
All right then, guys. Sorry, I have to interrupt. We're going to have to intro Tong Fu, apparently. Not because of the Mystic Ball segment. That was really good. But, of course, the game is going to be starting. So let's introduce Tong Fu.
And Banana with Tongfu is with us now, and Josh is once again going to help us translate. And we're really curious. We've been talking a little bit about what to ask you because we've seen you a couple of times this morning. What have you been doing in the last couple of hours to prepare to face Orange?
前几个小时就为了备战 Orange， 你们做了些什么？
我们就因为刚打完对埃及的比赛没多长时间，我们就是在看那个 A 队打那个拿维的比赛，然后没有做太多准备吧，稍微聊了一下。
So mainly they just been watching Alliance vs Na'Vi, and they spent a little bit of time discussing, but they haven't really had a lot of time.
So if you end up in the grand final, would you rather face Alliance or Na'Vi if you had a choice? Now I'm curious. I have to ask.
他很好奇说，如果你们杀到总决赛，是比较愿意对 Na'Vi 还是 A 队？
哪位？
Na'Vi.
Even I heard that. Yeah. Okay. Banana, thank you, and good luck to you. We're looking forward to seeing it.
王娇 ，Banana， 中国开封。
陈志豪，豪，中国广州。周洋 ，KJ， 中国上海。
张盼，木，中国武汉。
王兆辉，山生，中国湖南。
Tong Fu, a team with motivation to take the whole tournament, and there wasn't even a second of hesitation when Banana was asked who they want to meet, and they said Na'Vi. They want to play Na'Vi ball. If they win this, they get to play him in the lower bracket finals, but of course they have to go through Orange to do so.
And that's your ultimate grudge match right there. Tong Fu against Na'Vi right now after the way Na'Vi beat them down to the lower bracket yesterday. Ultimate grudge match.
Yeah, well, they've got, I feel bad for Orange. They're going to treat him like not even, sportsmanship. Well, I wouldn't treat them as a kind of sportsmanshipy friendly. I'd just be like, I need to go through you to get to someone else. Sorry, it's nothing personal, but we really have to destroy you. But they've been a great team so far. I think the game's already in bantam picks, so I'm just going to ask for some predictions, starting with Bruno.
Okay, I'm going to say Tongfu 2-1. This is the game of the strength carry mid like Alchemist and DK versus the flashy plays from Mushi and Queen of Pain and crazy stuff like that. I think the strength carry wins this one, even though I don't like it much. Malk.
I think it's two different mindsets going into this match. I think Tongfu, as you were saying, wants to beat Na'Vi, but they also want to prove that China is still large in charts in this tournament. So they're going to take it 2-0 because Orange right now is actually satisfied with what they've achieved.
I think Tongfu 2-1. I think Orange is great, but they're also inconsistent. And I think Tongfu is just more stable roster, and they'll take it home.
All right, well, I think the better team will win.
Wow.
How's that for a prediction?
You're an S.
All right, fine. I also think there's going to be Lifestealer bombs if you really want to put me on the spot. But either way, I don't know. Let's go to the game and find out. It's Orange versus Tongfu. It's a best of 3. Winner will secure themselves at least 3rd place. Loser will finish the tournament in 4th. Over to the hall. Best of luck to both teams.
Orange versus Tongfu.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Benaroya Hall, home of the Seattle Symphony. It's time for Tongfu versus Orange Esports, best of 3. Winner guaranteed top 3 finish at the International. The loser will finish 4th place. I am LD. I'm joined here by my man Luminous.
I don't think a lot of us have expected Tongfu to make it this far, and a lot of us have not expected Orange to make it this far. Both these teams very, very strong in their individual play, very strong in their teamwork, but sometimes things just don't click as well as some of these top teams. But who cares about expectations? Let's throw them out the windows, because right now, Orange and Tongfu fighting for the tournament lives. Any predictions coming from you before we discuss the picks and bans?
I think it's really close. A lot of it comes down to the drafts. To me, Orange Esports very reliant on a strong start. They've been getting it in most of their games. Mushi's been drafting exceptionally well. I think if Orange has good drafts, I favor them. So I'm going to say Orange 2-1, but it really could go either way. Very close series.
Well, Tongfu's going to open up with the draft with Lifestealer and Stormsphere, and the mobility of this lineup really worries me if I'm an Orange fan, because how will Chen and how will Bane really get these lockdowns? Sure, Fiend's Grip is a spell that can kill Lifestealer, can kill Stormsphere, but that's if there's no disable to counter you, which, I mean, Stormsphere is going to come in from a mile away, and I don't think that Fiend's Grip is going to do much.
You know, there's 2 ways to go at this, I'd say. The first one is to just shut Storm Spirit down in the laning stage. So getting a Chen, a Bane, a Darkseer, you pick up a very self-sufficient solo in the Darkseer. He doesn't need too much help early. In fact, usually needs none. Lifestealer's not going to kill him by himself, and if he needs to, he can go jungle. That frees up your Bane and Chen, jungle for a few levels, and then go gank Storm before he hits level 6. Mushi, we've seen it from him time and again. He can dominate the matchups 1v1. He's beaten almost everybody in mid, and if he gets the right hero here, he definitely could. So don't be surprised when Mushi gets a Queen of Pain, and they just tackle this Storm Spirit head on in the lane. The other way to deal with Lifestealer and Storm Spirit is to 5-man. With Chen, with an early mech, which Darkseer can build, it's a little bit harder to find those pickoffs. If anyone's really in danger, you can send them back as Chen. Bane can sleep somebody as well, like the Storm when he jumps in. So I think Orange have a good lineup to deal with Tongfu, but if they make mistakes early, if those first smoke ganks fail, if they fall behind and they're not able to get the items needed to 5-man, they're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, speaking of 5-man, if Tongfu gets a lead in that engagement and they need to chase, oh god, this is a lineup that you just can't run away from. I mean, Lifestealer already very quick with a standard phase drums build. He is going to keep chasing. Stormspirit, obviously, we've seen what IG did to Tongfu with the Stormspirit on 430's play. If you run from this lineup, you're probably going to be dead. So Orange Esports, when they're winning team fights, they have to win it decisively, they have to win it quickly. And let's see how the draft's gonna predict. Because Darkseer is actually a good place to open up if you're building a team fight lineup. Their support don't have too much AoE, and that's my concern. So the carries, maybe it's gonna be a Gyrocopter, maybe it's gonna be a Alchemist with a Battlefield. They need some AoE in their damage output.
Yeah, we'll have to see where they go there. I want to point out, though, that Orange made some kind of unusual bans in the second stage of this draft. They banned an Enigma as well as a Doom. And you might be asking, well, why would you ban these? And oh, by the way, we're going to see a Mushi Puck. This guy, his reactions, I'm excited for it. And this is a hero, by the way, that can crush Storm in the lane if it's played perfectly. Oh no, here we go. This is a hero that has fallen off the face of the earth a little bit. Silencer hasn't seen much play lately. Very tough for a Puck to deal with.
For those of you guys that maybe this is a new game of Dota 2 for you guys and have not really seen Silencer being picked into International 3, Silencer's global ultimate or ultimate is a global silence. So nobody casts any spells on the opposite of the map. And it doesn't do anything aside from that. So at times it is the best ultimate in the game because when the enemy is under siege, they're under fire, you're throwing spells at them, you know, them not being able to fight back with the spells is a big deal. But
Orange is a caster lineup. I mean,
Yes.
you look at these heroes, they're very spell reliant. They don't have someone like a Lifestealer who can get away with just right-clicking, maybe stay alive. They don't have an anti-mage who's naturally very tanky. Darkseer is to a certain extent. They can use their mech during that global silence, but if the silences are timed right,